What do you think? Should I wear this skull and the dagger, or the hoop and the dagger?
Nah, just with a dagger and a bone for your nose.
Hello, everybody. This episode, we're going to sit down with Dave Gura. We're talking Thrash Bash. Do a lot of recap of last year's Thrash Bash and what to look forward to this year. Kind of hit some deck tech, and that's about it. But it should be a fun event. It is unfortunately overbooked already, so if you missed your spot, I apologize. And we'll probably do a recap at some point once it's fit in the books. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
They're just thrashers. They're all right.
Thrashers, that sounds like vandals or juvenile delinquents. Troubled youth.
No, thrashing. It's just an aggressive style of skating. You know, we thrash.
Well, what do you thrash?
What do you got?
So Dave, what have you been up to, man? Have you been playing some old school? You've been any big events yet this year? Anything been happening good? What's the Midwest like right now?
Yeah, Kumite was really good. So I went to Kumite this spring, and that was really fun. They had like a great turnout, and it's nice to see a lot of the Midwest people. It's really a nice crowd. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. And then I just been playing on like webcam. There's no sort of action locally where I live, so doing a lot of webcam leagues.
Yeah, which ones are you into? There's a lot of stuff out there. There's X Point and all kinds of stuff. What are you playing?
Lately, I've been playing the Neos online, like the New England League. That's a pretty fun one. Every month it's kind of different. They have like various twists and stuff. But that's it. I usually only have time for like one league. I can't play some guys can play like a bunch, but usually it's just kind of one. So that's usually the one that I'll play in if I have time.
I think I've never done it. I think I'd like it too, but it's hard to find time. You know how it is, but they seem to mix it up. I like the variety and mixing things up and all that.
Yeah, it's hard to like schedule all those games though. It's kind of like you're always playing. I played the Summer Derby too. I guess that's a recent one. But it's always hard, finding the time. People are in different time zones. People don't answer back. Most people are pretty good though, but
there's always like one or two. You're just like, why'd you sign up for this, man? Like, you're just unreachable, and it's kind of nuts.
The perils of the webcam magic. But I had a good derby experience mostly. Everyone was pretty good this time. I didn't do so hot, but it was still pretty fun.
I mean, I didn't get to. So yeah, I've had two bad ones in a row. Kumite was on my anniversary, and then Summer Derby was right on summer vacation. So we had a volleyball tournament in Florida, and then followed up with Disney or Universal, and I'm like, there's no way jam every game in like one day or something. I just had to bail on it. But the good news, the big announcement here in a couple weeks, Dave Bard, and he's gonna come on here, and we're gonna try to do like the Spice Files. And I don't know if you ever you still watch those. The Beast of the Bay would do the Spice Files and talk about the spicy decks from the different events. So he's got a whole bunch of them from LobsterCon and from the Summer Derby. So I don't know. I love that stuff. So since I missed out on the Summer Derby, I'm like, well, let me talk about everyone else's stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. We're gonna try to do that in a couple of weeks, and it'll probably be more of a YouTube thing than a podcast. But I don't know. I just release them all. Our tens of listeners can figure out how they want to consume our content. Well, anyhow, Eric says his headset might be completely wiped out, so I don't even know if he's coming back. So we're gonna press on anyhow. But for the listeners, we got Dave Gura, right? Did I say that right? Mm-hmm. I'm getting better at it. Yep. Back again this year. He's gonna relaunch the Thrash Bash, and I don't know. We kicked it around. That might have been our favorite event last year. I don't know if we were talking about the stuff we went to. It was definitely one of the top ones. That was cool. I mean,
I'm glad to hear it, man.
Yeah, well, I'm an old skateboarder anyhow, so I just you get me there right out of the gate with the skating theme and the old thrashing movie. I love all that stuff. I was just before this, I was listening to some of the clips and the highlights to maybe put in for sound clips.
Oh
Can't beat
yeah.
it, man.
Yeah, in the event Discord, I have like a channel. I don't know if you saw it, but it's the whole movie on clips, like from YouTube. Somebody put them on there. So like, there's like 10 clips that I posted, and you could just watch the entire movie if you've never seen it. So, I encourage everyone that signed up this year, like make sure you watch
Ration
it.
clips right here. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's how I watched it too. Yeah, you just go down through and make like sneaks them on in individual segments. Nice.
yeah,
I like that. Yeah, you put them in one spot.
So now I
yeah.
have no excuse. I have to watch Thrashing, apparently.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Come
Yeah,
on,
you can't
man.
miss out.
I didn't even know what it was until last year. So
wow. I watched this as much as any other movie, I think. Maybe Gleaming the Cube was up there, but I don't know. It seemed like the poser one. This was like the real one. Like Gleaming the Cube was cheesy or something, if I remember
Yeah,
right.
no, this was a real one. Like Gleaming the Cube tried to be like a real movie. It had like Christian Slater, and there was, like it was like an action plot, with like some cameos. This movie is product of its time. It's far superior, in my opinion.
I would agree. But it's kind of funny. What's his name is Thanos, right? And when he grew up, he's actually Thanos from the Marvel movies. But if you look up his Wikipedia, he cuts Thrashing out of his credits. He doesn't even want to take credit for it. I was like, what?
This is brilliant cinema here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've always loved this movie, and I thought it was really exciting. A lot of people liked it. In the event last year. So I'm like, yeah, it's definitely now going to be a recurring theme. So, that will be the tournament. I didn't know if I was going to rotate and try like a different theme for this year, but it's like, no, I can't not have the thrashing event. It's just too good.
I would agree 100%. One of the things I want to do is go through some of the stuff from last year, but give us the details on what's happening this year. I see there's 10 spots left. I think it's in the same place.
No, man. We're out. We have a wait list now. So
a wait list already. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's like at this point last year, we didn't have nearly as many people, and now we have, I think, over 10 more people than we did total last year. I mean, so we've capped the event, and there's a wait list of like 3
No
people.
longer accepting responses. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
man. It's you got to get it while it was hot.
You're
so
there.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. And then we'll have the same venue up at Tippy Canoe. We're gonna have food this year, so that'll be kind of sweet. Is that I haven't decided when during the rounds we'll take a break, but part of your entry fee gets you like lunch there, so that way you don't have to worry about food. You're responsible for your own bar tab though.
Good call. Yeah.
So that'll be kind of neat. And then we're also going to have Susan Van Camp this year as well, doing signatures and altars and stuff. She's going to come down from Michigan, so it's a really, really exciting event.
Yeah. So real quick on Susan Van Camp, how did you pull that off? I mean, did you just reach out to her and hoped you would, or?
Well, she was at Kumite this past year, and I talked with Tom, who's kind of become like her business manager, and I just asked him, because she's based in Michigan, so it's not terribly far. I know a lot of the other artists are kind of on the West Coast or other places, but I know she's in the Midwest, so it kind of made sense, and it was awesome. I got like some altars done by her at the Kumite and some of my hymn to Torat cards, got some signatures. So yeah, it's gonna be great.
It's the good hymn too, right? She did the wolf hymn.
Oh yeah, that's the Midwest hymn. That's why that's our event card. Even before I knew she was coming in last year, that was our event card too.
And if I'm not mistaken, like the Kumite, that was like the first time she had come out in like a long, long time or something, right?
I think so. I think it was like decades. So yeah, that's what I heard.
So this will be like pretty special for her to come to Thrash Bash, right? It's like you don't get to see her, or people haven't got to see her very often. So
no, it'll be
bring your cards,
good.
get them altered, whatever.
Yeah. So there's like a channel in the Discord now that Tom has access to where he can kind of post the info regarding that. But yeah, I mean, like, so she'll be there for the duration of the event. in between rounds. And I wanted it too, where people were not going to come just to go to the artist. You hear some about those tournaments where people like sign up and don't play at all. They just want to go. And that's not what we're about. We want some people that are out there to play, have a good time. But then you also got, this kind of cool bonus where there's going to be an amazing artist there who's really nice and does some great stuff. So we have a good list of people. So I know it's going to be really good participation.
Yeah, I'm excited, dude. Yeah, I was happy to see that. I was like, oh man, this is getting serious. I was trying to
I'm terrible when it comes to like artists and what cards they've done. So I'm trying to think, like, what should I bring to have her?
Well, she's got stuff from like
and it looks
Arabian
like
Arabian Nights on. She did like Wauli Wolf, I think Majai Jin, the one where you flip a coin to see if it can attack. That's one of hers. Whirling Dervish, obviously Hymnotorak, a couple Homeland stuff. There's like some later cards too. I don't really know anything after Homelands though. It's about where my card knowledge kind of cuts off.
It looks like she did a couple of those terrible Legends glyphs. Maybe I'll be the guy that brings those.
She did all the glyphs. Yeah.
All of them.
Burning Effigy. Oh come on! I love a Burning Effigy.
Blazing Effigy. She did. I'm trying to think what else. Desert Twister. That's a common one. She did
Desert Twister.
One of the hymns.
War Cloud. Come on, Jason. That's you, man.
There you go. Giggity.
These are your babies.
Oh, Psychic Purge too. That's
a Purge. Actually, I've always loved that. I don't know what to think of that art because it's compelling. I don't know. I do love it. That's one of the ones I definitely know about the art. Good old Psychic Purge. Yeah, so that's gonna be awesome. I wonder if we wanted something more elaborate, like, hey, here's $200 to work on hymns. Would you mail them back to me? I'm sure she would do stuff like that, right? Because I kind of hate when someone goes there and just monopolizes all their time. And like, this guy just gave Mark Teaton $3,000 to work on his Soul Ring the rest of the day. See you guys, So
yeah, I think you gotta do a mail-in for something more complex. You can coordinate that with like Tom, but I think at the event it's going to be like signatures, some sketches, and then maybe kind of like smaller altars. But yeah, I don't think there's going to be anything where I think everyone's going to get a chance, to get in line. We're not going to have everybody camping out. It's like everyone gets a turn. You can get back in line after you go through, go in between rounds. Like it seemed to work real well at Kumite. There wasn't anybody like hogging it. And they had like 50 people there too. I mean, it was a far larger tournament. So I think we're going to be in great shape.
That is awesome. Well, kudos on that. Good find. Good addition. All right. What about the rules? We're doing the same as EC, right? We're just ripping it.
Oh yeah, four strip mine all the way for this. This is the Midwest, Brian. We're not playing this one strip mine kind of game. We're not allowing Twiddle Vault to like ruin your day. Recall restricted. Time Vault restricted. So yeah, straight up EC 93, 94 rules. Play something fast so you can get in the altar line.
Yeah, I don't play a lot of four strip, and I definitely remember the impact it had. I mean, it was honestly kind of in my favor a fair amount. I played a game where the guy literally only played like one card the whole game. It was just, I just stripped and destroyed every land he had. And he just never got to play one. He was kind of mana screwed, and I was just like, oh, look, you got a land. Let me regrow the strip mine again. It was over, but
it was wild. I played like a green black Nether Void deck last year, and four strip mines under Nether Void was brutal. I ended up taking second in my own event, which was kind of hilarious. I never win anything, so it was really funny to place that high. But it was I'm gonna not play the same deck. I'll play something different. I think we had Shops that won. What's his name? Joe Stacco was on a Shops list. That was like, I think it was like triple sleeve. I remember I played him. He was my only loss for the tournament. And he goes to like flip his Chaos Orb, and I thought it was gonna like break the table. So it's like you're not messing with that thing, buddy.
That's one way to do it. That's for sure. I mean, I want to kind of run through the decks from last year just so we can get a feel for the possible meta and get you guys' thoughts on what should be good this year, or maybe what to bring. I kind of glanced through it. I feel like Psychic Purge might be strong. A lot of
I
discard
think,
stuff I saw.
yeah, I think any like four strip, mono black is always extra viable. I always played in the side, when I played mono black for like the mirror, I don't even have any blue mana. I just put it in there anyway, 5 damage on a discard. But I don't know. I mean, the decks were pretty diverse. Like, your kind of top four was not what you normally expect if you edit out the shops guy, who won. All the rest, like usually you don't see white weenie in the top at a lot of stuff, but it's a lot more viable, I think, in the four strip environment. But there was just like some fun stuff, man. Some people had some wild decks, and you, Brian, you had the most Hesh deck.
Yeah,
You won the special award.
I did love that. Yeah, that was fun because it's I stress over this stuff. I'm like, what is the most Hesh build? And I'm struggling for this year. I don't have anything lined up. I keep going back and forth and different things, and I don't know. Yeah, it's like Eric's like, well, you could do like hoops and daggers, and you could have like soul rings and other rings, and then like swords and daggers. And I'm like, oh, that's a deep theme for a really bad day.
You got to play the Erg Raiders you won though. Like my hope is like, because we had like weird prize cards last year. We didn't just have only for like, top four. It was like, Erg Raiders was like the most Hesh, and then we had like a first blood card that Kyle Wells won, and it was like a bloodlust. And then I'm trying to think what else. We had like some like random stuff, and my hope this year is that people that had come last year are going to play like some of these weird cards that we gave out, that may or may not be like super viable, but were like prize worthy.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, there's the first.
Yeah, found him. The other thing was awesome. First blood. How quick that was just the first to finish their game, right?
Yeah.
Was probably a all-in aggro.
Oh, there you are. There you are, winning the most Hesh card there, Brian. There's an action shot.
I know. Wow, it's serious. Wearing the same shirt today, even just in honor of it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice this report too. I want to thank Jaco for hosting this on EC website too. It was nice of him to put it up, just so we can see everyone can see all the decks and some action photos and stuff.
If you want, let's just scroll down through some of these. I want to talk about just random decks. See if we got some stories from last year. This AJ Kelly, he came with us. He hadn't played old school in forever, and we proxied him up. It was pretty awesome. It was a Enchantress deck with Rabid Wombat, and nice. God, that thing got out of control. Like when he won so hard. You just would have like a Spirit Link and the +3/+3, and it's this 8/8 life linker with vigilance. And you just can't do anything. Like you just win. And then he didn't do great on the day, but it was a pretty sweet deck, and he had a really good time for probably not playing an entire year. Just pulled out a deck and built something real quick. It was a pretty cool brew. I don't know what he did for the day. I don't know. See, he was 19th. He wasn't that far down running Rabid Wombats. So,
okay. Yeah, it's pretty random too. The one thing about four strip is you can get stripped out, no matter what you're on. You could have a non-game pretty easily, but you need those answers though. I've been playing a lot of ETL lately, and it's just like, oh man, I used to get dominated by some of the lands decks that are out there. Library and shops. Shops is actually better in four strip, but at least you could answer some other stuff, try to keep them up, copy artifact or something. But
this deck really feels on Andy Higgins. But yeah, we got your typical 8-bolt, 2 fireball, ball lightning, animate dead to bring back the ball lightning, and then the abyss to keep the board clean. I thought this was pretty sweet. And then just 2 artifacts to kind of float in around the abyss. How did he do?
I don't think he plays super high.
No, he didn't. I like that deck. Yeah.
High casting cost though. A lot of those things like Trike is 6, Abyss is 4, and you got to have a black. I can see you getting kept off your mana base. If you just kind of get stripped out. Because the top decks were, aside from shops, it's like White Weenie. I was on green black, and I want to say what was Kevin Valentine on? He was, I think, in the top 4. he might have had like a 5-color good stuff sort of deck.
See if we can find him here. Is it by first name? Well, here's your deck. I liked your deck. Someone was talking about, that thing's pretty sick. But yeah, it was just a super aggro-y 8 elves, a couple of giant growths, pixies, sprites. Yeah, I mean, man, what's your top mana cost? 2?
Yeah, I took the slug out every game. So my highest was actually the nether voids for 4. And that was the highest thing. And I basically just wanted to get that down as soon as possible. I mean, I felt bad. Like in some of the games, I had like a turn 2 nether void, and it's just like, that's a lock right there. It's hard to come out from that, you know.
Pendelhaven's beautiful. You got 3 of them. So as they strip them away, you just keep bringing another one back out.
Yeah, there was like some good games that I remember. I mean, like I had some pretty competitive matches. You know, there was a lot of good heat. I had a really good one against Dan Picard from Lords of the Pit. He was on like a green and white, and we were like head to head. And I remember I sideboarded in like a sandstorm, and I wiped his whole board out. And that's the only way I was able to win, because it was like going to be anybody's game. Like he had like lions, you know, Pendelhavens, you know, elves and stuff, giant growth. It was a really good deck, and it was really fast. And I think he and I were like vying for what would have been like second place.
Trying to find him here. Guess it's by first name. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it is. That's how I did it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He
had the cool round.
He had the great deck. Yeah, he had a great deck there.
Yeah, green, white. Yeah, similar low to the ground Pendelhaven. Now he's got 4 swords and a berserk. So yeah, that could be.
He had all those first strikers though too, and like a weenie on weenie match. Like that's crazy. Like, you know, like Thunderwolves is good against a bunch of 1/1s. Like, so yeah, I mean, like he's a good player, and his deck was really, really great.
How do you stop these? What do you side against something? These little, obviously, like trikes are good. I guess that's why Shops comes out and stuff like that.
I use Sandstorm. That's how I won in game 3. Is I dropped a Sandstorm and I killed like a bunch of his creatures when they attacked, and wiped his board. Like that was, you know, that was how I was able to get around it. I love that card, Sandstorm. Nobody plays it. It's really good as a sideboard card, I think, if you're playing green. But
what about deserts? Are they even viable? Maybe.
I don't know, because deserts, they do the damage first. You can only kill like 1. I like the Sandstorm because you can get more than just a 1-for-1, you know, with it.
They can try to save one thing with the giant growth or something, or the Pendelhaven or what. Yeah, you're probably right. Let's see, where was I played not Ben Rebel, but who's the other Rebel?
Yeah, John.
Yeah. Where's he at?
There he is.
And we had a really good game, and I had locked him out with an Ali from Cairo. And I'm just seeing this, you know, white, green, Armageddon, everything. And he freaking control magics. And I'm like, where did the control magic come from on your Armageddon? Like, what? Who does that? It was so good. And then I couldn't kill my own Ollie, and then he ended up beating me with it. And it was the most surprising freaking out of nowhere card. I did not expect it. Just seeing, you know, I guess he splashed blue for Ancestral Time Walk and Dibs, but I'll be damned if he didn't crank out a couple control magics. And yeah, that's good against Ollie.
Man, spicy Brian, you know, Ellie from Cairo. Remember that was like the best card in like 1994. Everybody wanted that card. It was so expensive, but it wasn't really that playable. It wasn't really that playable, I don't think.
Well, you know, yeah, I that's something I keep toying with, is what is the best 4 Ollie from Cairo deck? Because I mean, you really can't die if you could figure it out.
Spectral Cloak, I don't know. That's like the combo, you know. Oh, there you go. There's your deck.
Yeah, there's mine. So yeah, I just went all in as much as I could with Ball Lightnings and the other 6/3 Jin. Just like how aggro can I get? I guess I did have a Sulkanar in there and a Shivan for some
It's a
high end.
great
But
picture though. You got like the broken decks in there, like some beer cans. Like that's a really good deck photo. That's to me, I saw that and I was like, that's the most Hesh deck before even looking at the actual cards and strategy. Clear winner,
yeah, I
clear
like to set
winner
the
all the
bar as
way.
high as I can, man. But now I don't. Now I'm trying to think of how do I top it? That's the problem every time, right? So
You got to start with the Erg Raiders, man. You got to play the most Hesh
Yeah.
reward, or at least put it in your sideboard if you're not going to run it in the deck. You got to display that at some point.
oh yeah,
It was a coveted prize, man.
it was. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm thinking like, isn't Juggernaut kind of amazing? He's kind of on a skateboard anyhow. So I'm like, what's the best like for Juggernaut? Obviously he dies to shit, but maybe you keep him around somehow, keep
I don't know,
reanimating
man.
him. You just
I
keep
think we're in
slinging with
the year of the jug is upon us, man. Like
yeah,
John won Kumite with like a shops list that had 4 juggernauts in it,
right,
and
yeah.
I'm just seeing them everywhere. So I think you can't go wrong with Jug. It was always a good card. I mean, I used to play him in '94. I had I think like 2 or 3 jugs in my main sort of deck. You can get it out fast, maybe get in once or twice. It's worth it.
Yeah, it hits hard, and if someone's playing a wall ride deck, you just get right through it. So got that going for you. Jason, you didn't go last year, did you?
No, I didn't get to go last year, so I'm looking forward to going this year.
Oh yeah, it's going to be great. We've got like a very like illustrious list of attendees, but we have people coming from all over. There's even some guys coming from New England. They're going to come all the way from like Massachusetts to Indiana to play, and I think that's just amazing. So that'll be great. That'll be great. So yeah, we got a lot of different clubs from the Midwest, but then we got some extra travelers.
So do you know this Forrest Walton guy? Because I really want to ask why he had to. I mean, he's got shops, beta duels, all this. He had to proxy 3 juggernauts. He just couldn't find those in his collection.
I just don't think he had them. So I met Forrest through a mutual acquaintance that I was playing with online. And we were just chatting after the game, and he asked me where I live, and I said, "Oh, I live in South Bend." He goes, "Oh, my friend lives there. I grew up with him playing Magic, and he lives in South Bend, and that would be Forrest. So he's the only other person in the city that I know of that plays old school Magic. And we met through this mutual friend, so I got in touch with him, and he came out to the tournament. He's going to come again this year. So yeah, I just don't think he had any jugs on hand. So he had to proxy him.
It's just epic. It's like the most pimped out, and they just like, oh yeah, and 3 juggernauts. Why not?
Yeah, I know. I love he's got like unlimited power, 4 shops, but like no juggernauts.
I mean, no juggernauts.
Didn't have
Yeah.
that dollar for a couple juggernauts.
I love and respect anyone that plays shops for good. That's what I consider this, like Clockwork Beast. Is that Clay Statue? Is that what that one is?
Primal Clay. No, that's Primal
Primal
Clay.
Clay.
You get to pick what a creature. Yeah, and there's like a shapeshifter in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you use shops for good. You're not just jamming shops to just win.
Exactly. There's no Trikes or Suchis in there at all, but he's got like
no,
Sword of the Ages, Berserk, Unstable Mutation. That's a fun deck. Like I kind of wish I played against that, but I didn't get to face him in the tournament.
I think he's missing his Vesuvan Doppelganger, because if you can drop your Doppelganger, copy the Clockwork Beast, you get the 7+1 counters, and the next turn you can choose to be something else, and the 7 counters stay on it. So like next turn you can choose the Yoshin Soldier, and he's got 7+1 counters, plus it makes him like an 8/3 vigilance or whatever. It's pretty awesome combo. Yeah. I played a whole deck. It actually did better than I thought it would. I had Old Man of the Sea, so I could pick up like the 7 counters. Also, like a Clockwork Avian. So you come out, when it comes into play the first time, you got to get the counters, and then after that you can pick whatever. But you can make Old Man like a 6/3 and just take anything they had, which is kind of cool. When you pull it off, you're living the freaking Magic dream. So I think that's the only thing I would change here, is throw in like 2 doppelgangers just to live the dream.
Yeah, there was like some great decks, and then we'll do the Friday night meetup again this year, like we did last year. We'll do the 7-point singleton. It's a good casual format, but I know a lot of people are into anti, so bring an anti deck if you got one. You could do AAA, or if you're into total degeneracy, you could bring like 40K. I don't know if that many people are going to have anti 40K or not, but I'm sure there will be a few.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I should legalize. I've got so many anti decks, but We kind of play by our own rules down here because we're isolated from the world, and we got our own moxes and all that stuff, which is a lot of fun. But I don't think other people are going to show up and have them. So, but I'll probably, we do a lot of alpha to line. It's the best, if you ask me. It's the inevitable future. Just kind of, once you get into it, I mean, I have a 40K deck built almost, and I just can't bring myself to play because I get the same thrill out of losing a $10 City of Brass or something as and you don't have that super bad feel. I mean, I know, it's funny that you lost the Chaos Orb or a workshop or whatever, but there's got to be some point at night where you're just like, am I living right in my life? So the stuff we play with is around like $100 to $200 a deck or something like that. And man, it's great. I mean, that's Jason and I will sit around just kind of drink and just jam games all night sometimes, just playing the anti stuff. So I'm excited to hear that. Yeah, I don't know what the official default is. I guess AAA, the guys are playing in Texas, I guess would probably be a more. I think it's forced
like
strip.
A few rule sets. Go to Eric Martin's website. This old deck. He has I think all this anti stuff on there. I think you might even have your guys' rules on there too. But yeah, bring whatever you want. And then, there's a lot of Ohio guys coming too. So maybe there could be some Fallen Empires 40, which is actually an amazing format that I look forward to playing.
What's that one? I don't think I know that one.
Yeah, they do like a monthly league. It's like 40 cards, but it's only Fallen Empires, and you could use basic lands, and they got like prizes, and they have like a Facebook group and stuff. But it's like a lot of guys from Ohio play it. It looks pretty fun. I saw like some of the decks, and this guy in Guildhouse Discord, Eckleberry, he made these tokens from like the original like Duelist, where they had like all the Fallen Empire tokens, and he made them on like cards with like wyvern backs, and he mailed me a set. They were badass. There's
wow.
Like some like thrall tokens, sapperlings, it was cool. So like I think that would be like a fun thing to play. You could play it for ante too if you want, or not. But I don't know, check it out. It looks pretty fun for like, it's at Alpha 40. It's like Fallen Empires 40. The most affordable 40 card format.
Oh, that is amazing. Yeah. We played just a little bit of Wizards format, which is what Fallen Empires, Homelands, and I don't know, was it the Dark? I don't know. It's like those. It's like 3 weird sets like that. That was pretty fun too. I wanted to go back to. You can't just build these in a vacuum. You got to get everyone excited and have an event. But yeah, that's kind of cool. All right, I got to look up Fallen Empires 40.
Yeah, I just randomly joined the Facebook group for it like a few weeks ago, and I was looking at people's decks and posts and stuff like that. It looked pretty cool.
So I don't know if Steven got signed up or not. He's Steven's funny because he was like he made a career choice. He's gonna quit Magic for like 2 years, do all this stuff. Life's gonna be great. 3 months, maybe 2 months later, all right, screw that. I'm back. Can I get my stuff back? So I'm trying to gather up everything he gave me and send it all back to him. And it's like, screw this career thing. I need to be playing Magic again. So.
Oh man, I don't think he signed up. I don't think he is registered for the tournament this year.
Yeah, he just kind of got back into it like 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago. He's like, no, screw that. I'm back. So I did like his build of. So I don't know if you ever berserked a rook egg or not, but I always think that was a cool interaction if you needed to, just to crack the sucker.
People say it's a better removal card than an attack card. That's what I always hear.
I love 4 berserk and some Maze of Ith, man. Nothing like berserking something and then Maze it. Oh, feels good. I also like to berserk and then juxtapose and give it away because you know it's gonna die. Also,
I still don't know what that card does. That's one of those few cards, that has like so much text on it. It's like, I know what Tackle Maggot does because I play that card a lot, but I've never owned a Juxtapose, so I've never read it.
Real easy. You just exchange the 2 biggest creatures and then you exchange the 2 biggest artifacts.
All right. Okay.
You just attack with, I don't know, swing with your Shivan, berserk it, And then after combat, you swap. You give them the Shivan that's going to die, take their thing. You give them a soul ring, take their Nev's disc they were going to blow up, and their stuff dies and they're stuck. It's a lot of fun when it works. Who's this? Oh, Matt Moss. Yeah, he has those pimped out Amy Weber.
Yeah, there's some great cards in his deck. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think he's able to make it this year, which is a bummer. I really wanted everybody to come back. Everyone that, sort of like played last year. If you like stayed in the Discord, you have a different role. You're in the locals only tab. If you were top 4, you're in the daggers. So every year it'll just grow if people stay in the Discord. I haven't come up with a good name for the people that are just joining. I don't know if it's gonna be like straight out of the valley. Who knows? It's like they got to see the movie.
Well, that was kind of my only thought. I went to LobsterCon, Jason. I went to LobsterCon, and it was cool. But I'm like, it's so big. I kind of prefer stuff like this where it's a little smaller. It's the people I know year after year. You're kind of getting together, and maybe just because I didn't know as many of it, you get 200 dudes out there. You're not going to know as many. You're going to lose sight of people throughout the day. Like, I think my jam is these, 40, 50 people that's where I like to be, 30 to or so. And then you see the regulars, you see your friends, and you kind of hang with them throughout the day, and makes for a great event.
Yeah, it's a good size. Because last year we had like 30 people signed up. This year we're at like 40, and it's not going to get bigger than that. That's like a good size right there.
Yeah, that's probably all that venue can handle, right? I mean,
it is, unless you're going to be like so boxed in. I mean, I thought the venue was kind of sweet the way we had it set up, because you can find your table, but you also weren't like packed in there like a sardine in a can. There was some breathing room. Plus, we'll have a buffet this year, so that'll take up a little bit of space there too to have the food.
Oh, okay, buffet, cool, yeah.
But yeah, and we'll see. I mean, they really got me on the venue cost this year. It's like, I think almost not quite triple what it was last year, which is a bummer. But it's hard to get a venue in this town, man. I looked at a lot of different options, and this, this is a cool place too. I mean, like architecturally, it's beautiful. It's an interesting place to have like a Magic tournament for sure.
Oh, it's great, yeah, because it feels like you're going to a castle,
Yeah, no, it's historical.
Look at Joe's winning shops deck. Now here we go. What? Hey, not great on his deck photo skills, because there's so much plastic.
To defend the title though, Brian, and I have instructed him to bring back the trophy. The deck that you brought that we all.
All right. Okay. Good.
Yeah, because that will be awarded to this year's winner. So for those that didn't come last year, Brian brought this old like 80s skateboard deck, and like everybody kind of signed it, put their club stickers on it, and it now serves as the official Thrash Bash trophy. So Joe Stacco was presented with the trophy when he won, and I've instructed him to bring it back. I wrote in the words of the pit Discord, I was like, if you're not going to come, you got to send it back with somebody, but he's going to come. So in theory, the skateboard trophy should be there.
I probably have more if we need.
Who will take it home? I don't know. It's kind of cool though when it's the same one. We'll have everybody sign it again, And then,
yeah, it's like the Stanley Cup, man. You just do weird things with it, and then post pictures later and stuff. So,
but that's the downside of winning this tournament, is then you got to like get stuck with this piece of wood for a year.
Yeah, I've got more. I don't know if I should bring a last year's trophy and give it to him or something like that.
I think it's cool to rotate it. I'm sure he'll probably be happy to be rid of it too. And I don't know if he's got to hang it on a wall or if it's like in the garage somewhere. Like, I don't really know the guy, so no idea. But we could ask him. There it is. Yeah, there's
it was pretty sick
presentation. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's in rough shape too. It's perfect.
Yeah, no, it's very, 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 very fitting.
Man,
I'm going to see what else I could come up with.
Just imagine if he's like built his entire life around owning that piece of wood right now, and then you're going to take it away from him.
It's the
over his
pressure. It's like,
mantle.
oh, I
He's
gotta
gonna
win
take it
again.
down. There'll be a big sun-stated spot where it used to be.
Or
all
you
of
could
his
just play shops
friends,
and take it home.
all the girls that he's gotten since he's had this trophy, they're all just gonna ditch him because you're not the Thrash Bash winner anymore.
It is a major reward.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting too because we'll have about like 10 more, 12 more players, so a little bit more competition.
I forget. Did you paint these the top fours and all that, or
Yeah,
somebody?
yeah. I did the top 4 cards. I did the most hash card. I did like the first blood card and a couple other ones too. And then we had like a sweet, prize pool that people donated. So yeah, if anyone is coming, please bring some prizes or altars, anything you want, put it on the table. We'll, draft them at the end of the tournament. Everyone will still get participation card. I'm working on a stamp right now, and then bring a card too that you want stamped and signed. Whatever. Because I always like it when I go to an event where I could use a card, that you get. Like it's a card that you would actually play with, so you can, put it in your deck photos and play. So it's fun if you just pick the one you want, bring it, get it signed, get it stamped.
Yeah, I keep collecting the Evan hands. So I get a whole bunch of those.
I'll bring a Squire for the altar table.
Oh, come on.
Clancy's coming back.
Come on, don't bring Clancy again, man. I'm disturbed enough by that. I can't get it out of my head some days. That is the part about Auntie. It gets a little degenerative and we get kind of out of control with the penis altars. But I made these deck boxes last year. I'm not going to have time to do any more this year. Put them in the Thrash and VHS cases. So
some people
we'll see if
love
anyone's
that.
actually playing them.
I forget somebody who chose that, like, was like so excited. Like, I think, that was like the prize he was eyeing on the table, the whole time.
Yeah, I remember that because you're like, all right, go grab a prize. He was like right up there early. He just snags that. I'm like, no way. Somebody liked it. All right.
Yeah. I think it might have been Chad from Ohio. He's like a big fan of the movie. He just like loves the movie a lot, and I think that's what like brought him to the tournament. It's not so much
was he the
magic.
guy that
it was?
Yeah, he's like, I don't really play old school, but I love the movie. We're like, dude, you are the most epic guy here, man.
I think so. I think that was him. I think he might be more of like a middle school player, but yeah, he like loves thrashing. So he's coming back. So that's going to be sweet. It's going to be awesome to see a lot of the same guys and all the new people that signed up. It's going to be awesome too. I know a lot of them. I've played with a lot of the guys that are coming this year too. So we're going to have some quality individuals there. It's going to be great.
All right, well, that sounds cool. Did time for a couple other little things. Did you play any? Did you go pre-modern guy at all? Do you care about Lantax being banned? You ever play pre-modern?
Dude, I am not a pre-modern player, so I've tried twice, and it's just not for me. Like I am like an old school player. I just cannot do pre-modern. I tried like a dreadnought build, like won a couple, lost a couple, but it's just like usually when I play Magic, I'm having a great time. Like it's fun. I love my cards. Like I'm playing. Whenever I play pre-modern, that's literally where I just want to stop playing because it's so boring. It's like, okay, my opponent's going to shuffle for like 20 minutes. It's just like, I know like a lot of people like it. I'm not trying to hate on somebody's, nostalgia, but for me, it's not really nostalgic. Like I kind of quit playing like before those sets came out.
Sure, yeah. No, I can't seem to get into it either. I mean, I guess they banned land tax, which is I think good because it is tough to play again. You can, but it's just not fun. It's not a fun experience to sit there like, all right, I'm gonna not play lands and make them see who can go the longest turns with one land on the board. And I don't know. It's just like this isn't fun. So I was happy to hear that went away, but it was actually.
So they did ban it?
Yeah, it's banned. Yeah, they banned it in pre-modern because.
Yeah, I think like just a couple of days ago they did.
Yeah.
But the vibe is different too. I mean, because like I've played a little bit of middle school too, and it's almost the same card pool, but it's a totally, I don't know, like different vibe of people that play it. It feels kind of more like the old school kind of scene. People are playing, they're a little more laid back. Some of the pre-modern playing I've seen, it's like they're calling judges. They're calling
Yeah,
judges
that's
in.
what I saw. I was like, this
want to
is
like
not
win,
for me, man. I'm out.
you know.
It's like the competitive like retro format.
And that's
Yeah, I
fine if
think if
you're
you
into
played
it, you know.
competitively back then and you liked competitive play, you probably like it. You know, it's kind of a
Yeah.
throwback to that. But
Well, I know there's
Yeah,
like
that
some pro
yeah.
players that like from back in the day that play pre-modern. I know I heard there's a guy named like Sam Black. He's been playing Magic forever, and
yeah,
he's like a big pro guy or whatever. And apparently he basically made the statement that was like, if you're playing pre-modern and you're not playing with land tax and uh,
scroll rack.
no Mox
Oh, Mox
Diamond,
Diamonds.
yeah, Mox Diamond, and you're doing it wrong. And like
Yeah.
he was like winning all these like tournaments. So maybe they finally listened to him and said, yeah, this land tax thing is no good.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
not for me.
Yeah. So like I've got this giant collection of cards, and I'm slowly going through it to get rid of everything that's not old school. And like I'm pulling out all my pre-modern stuff also. But man, the more and more I go through it, the more I'm like, I'm just gonna sell all this pre-modern shit. I'll never play this. I don't have a good time when I play it. So
Yeah, turn it into something useful. You know, you
Yeah.
can turn it into like a Juzam or something. You know, something awesome.
Well,
That's what I
turn it
did.
into-
I got rid of the small amount of pre-modern cards I had from when I kind of played a little bit and just like got some better old school stuff for my collection. I feel way more happy about that. So yeah,
well, so
I
I'm just trying to
support you,
decide.
Jason.
So I got a Chaos Orb in my anti 40k deck, and I actually have an Alpha Chaos Orb. I got an unlimited one, and I got 2 CEs. Like I don't need all these. And I feel like I should just sell the unlimited one because I'm probably never gonna bust out the 40k, and then just get something I need. You know, there's certain other cards I'd rather have that's been sitting in a box here for coming up on 2 years, and it's still sealed up, and I still haven't got. I'm like, I'm just never gonna play freaking 40k. I think is the reality of it. So, and then I saw that they at LobsterCon somebody lost one. What's his name from Pennsylvania lost his. I'm like, oh, yeah, that seals the deal. I should just get it on and sell it.
Yeah, I think I'm at the point in my life
intense.
where if I'm going to play Magic, I'm going to play old school. And if I want to play something like in between rounds of Magic or something like that, I'm just going to play that Sorcery TCG. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I think it's kind of wild. I don't know. I don't know if you've seen this or not, Dave. It's like it was a Kickstarter game. I don't know. There's been different ones that came out.
I've seen some like shots of it, but you know, one card game is enough for me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels more like a game, if you would, like more like, I don't know. Maybe it's because we're not good at it, but it feels more involved. It's a little more playtime. You kind of
to me it feels very 90s. This is like it's really kind of complicated, and like I don't know, there's not overly too much text on the cards or anything, and I don't know, it just kind of has this like old school vibe that I don't know, I kind of dig.
Well, they did hire all old school artists pretty much to do the art, and they're all like painted like the old style, and it's some of the same original artists that did Magic cards did it and everything. So that's cool. I do like the look of it.
Yeah.
I guess my problem is hard to play and drink beer with it. I think there's too many things you can miss or whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm like, oh, I don't know, but it is kind of cool. So we've been dabbling in that a little bit. I'm also, I don't know if I'll have it ready. We've been we're working on. I made a Chaos Orb game, like kind of with the concept of dexterity and flipping to kind of warm up your Chaos Orb flips before a game. And I made it, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and it just sucked. I couldn't. It was too complicated. You know, when you make a game, there's too much complexity. It wouldn't work out. And then I was in vacation. I'm standing there at Disney in lines for hours and hours, just zoning out, and I'm not at work, and I'm like, I think I figured it out. So I think I kind of solved how to make the game, and we've been dabbling with it. Eric and I have been screwing around at work, and I'm like, all right, I need to try to get it get a prototype printed and take it to Thrash Bash. We got some randoms to just try it out and see how it goes. So
Yeah, bring it up, man. I'm the worst flipper there is. Like I don't know.
No, no, you're not.
nah,
No, you're not.
you haven't seen this guy.
Yeah, I'm always
Nope.
my game doesn't go to flips. I can hit them sometimes, but maybe.
Can you
maybe
at
I'll
least make
practice
it
a
on the
little bit.
table?
Yeah, I can
Okay. Well,
I
then
can
you
get some
win.
hits. Okay.
Yeah, he's pretty bad. I didn't realize that. And we started play testing with this guy. I'm like, wow, all right, we got one end of the spectrum. And then Eric can hit 200 straight, So we got the two together. But anyhow, it's been fun. So we're using all AI art and just kind of, cranking it out fast, 30 cards a day. We're just whipping post-it notes out as we play, making cards. It's been fun. So that I'm trying to make
2
a
months,
quick.
Jason. You got 2 months to practice your flips.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm solidly settled in being the worst at it. So we're not going to practice. We'll just continue to flip the chaos orbs so terribly they just end up in another dimension.
All right. Well, guys, I got to jam out, but thanks for having me on the pod.
Absolutely, man. Well, we're going to test out the last seats, but you already did. How much, last thing, charity? Are we doing a charity this year?
Yeah, we're going to do a Cultivate Food again, which is a local charity here in South Bend that provides, they have a backpack program where they provide lunch to kids that pretty much wouldn't eat from the end of school on Friday till they go back on Monday.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
It's the same charity that we played for last year. We're going to play for them again this year and donate all proceeds of the event to Cultivate.
What did we do last year? We got to beat it this year. We got more people. We should be able to do
You
it.
better donate. It's costing more this year because they jacked up that room fee. So I think last year we had it was over $700 that we donated. So
Nice.
This year I'm not sure what we're gonna do after the venue costs, but feel free to donate more than the 45 that is the registration fee. Anything you give will go straight to the charity after I settle up with the venue man.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I don't know if we could gather up any
Sweet.
raffle stuff or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. We got 2 months. We can figure this
Whatever
out.
you want. We appreciate all charitable contributions, and I know they did. Because I was at work earlier after the tournament last year, and I get a phone call. It's a local number, so I answer it, and it's the guy from the charity, and they're like, "This is a huge donation. Thank you so much." And you're like, what was the event? I'm trying to explain it to him, and no idea. He has no idea. So what do you mean? It's a card game. It's a bunch of middle-aged men. We're playing it, and we used to play it when we were younger, but we raised this money for charity. He's like, please think of us next year. And I said, all right, I will. I'm glad that we probably made a difference, for some kids out there and stuff. But yeah, they were very appreciative. The charity was very appreciative.
Yeah, I got the same phone call. I just hired a guy. It was his first week, and I'm driving in the car, and I answer, on speaker. And because I didn't give the money to you, I just donated direct. I think I screwed it up. But so since I was a direct donator, he was reaching out to, kind of ask me how I heard about it and all this. And I'm trying to explain it. And, this guy doesn't know who I am. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's a little charity function we do, it's no big deal. But yeah, he called me and he said, oh, well, that's great. I hope you do it again. So yeah, they were great. Very polite and actually didn't spam me nonstop either. I was like, oh, I do call constantly. And they didn't. They were really cool. So. All right, great, man. All right. Well, let's see if we can dig up some charity raffles or some calendars or something.
All right, man. Well, thanks, guys. I'll see you in September. Bring it, bring the heat. I'm going to play something gnarly for sure. I don't know quite what, but I got some ideas. So let's see. Brian, maybe you could be the 2-time Hessian. I don't know. We'll see.
It's going to be tough, man, but I'm going to try.
All right.
It's a heavy burden, though, I got to admit.
All right, dudes. I'll see you later. Have a good night.
All right, see you, Dave.
Take it easy.
All right, bye.
Oh, good dude.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the event. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it sounds like you got in under the cap too, which was nice. You can now sell your seat to someone for some profit,
Yeah, there we go.
Slave to value.
Always be dealing.
Hey, before we wrap, been trying to brainstorm something and tell me if I'm crazy or not. But Island Sanctuary, I always see it with with Howling Mine. Obviously, you can skip to draw one and keep the other one.
Yeah.
And you can splash a relic barrier to turn your opponent off on it. Why don't you just run that in shops, or is that just too slow? Not what shops wants to do, but God, it feels devastating to just kind of splash. I mean, it's a white and one, so it's pretty easy to throw it in there. And if you get the, if you already, a lot of the shop decks already run Howling Mine and Relic Barrier. But isn't that kind of a devastating, what the hell do? You don't even have islands in your deck because you're probably on colorless and white or something like that.
Yeah, I mean the island walk part. I mean, what the hell has island walk anyway? So it doesn't really matter.
I guess you probably could risk it, maybe splash some. And the other thing is they can't attack you. You can still attack.
Yeah. I mean,
so you could still be swinging with Suchis and stuff, Maybe there's just not enough spots for it, but I don't know. I don't see that combo very often, and I'm just like, why not? Why not? This is obviously not Hesh or aggro or skate thrashing, but I've been on two of these random combos.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's got something to do with So you're. I mean, Shops is already a really good deck. So what do you take out for Island Sanctuaries?
Freaking Tetravus that sucks, man.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I hate that stupid Tetravus.
I hate those damn things, man. I don't know. Maybe you just don't need the defensive, but it'd be more of like a probably 4 Icy Manipulator deck. A little more control-y. Just and then you have I don't know. It just seems like a good opportunity. You might try something with it.
Yeah, I mean, I like Island Sanctuary. I think you look at Island Sanctuary and it's 50 cents, and then you look at Moat and it's $1,000 or whatever it is. I mean, Island Sanctuary is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I just don't see it very often. Just real rarely someone splashes it in. I don't know. I kind of want to. And the other thing that's been stuck in my head is Arborea and Time Vault. Now this is right up your alley. So
okay,
you take a turn and then you play all your crap on the turn that your extra turn, right? And then on the turn you untap it. So then every fourth turn you do nothing, and your opponent takes 2 turns, then you take 2 turns, right? But your first turn you can play yourself, and then the second after you take your Time Vault turn, the only thing you do on that turn is untap your Time Vault, and then no one can attack you because you didn't do anything for a turn. So
hold on.
I know it's complicated, and I think I tried to play it once, and I drank too much to play it right, and I just quit. But I still think there's something here. So Arborea is out. You play Time Vault. Let's say, all right, just say you untap it right there. So now your opponent takes 2 turns, they can attack you. Next turn, you play your lands, do all your shit, tap the Time Vault, take an extra turn. On your extra turn, the only thing you do is untap your Time Vault and Millstone or whatever you want, and then they can't attack you. Then it comes back around, and now you can take your turn, you play your lands, untap your Time Vault, give them a turn. It's every fourth turn you could play your stuff. Like you take 2, they take 2, but you can only play on one of your 2 turns.
Yeah, you can only play on your first.
On your first
turn, and then play nothing on your next turn.
And then that's the turn that you untap the Time Vault, because you're not playing an ability.
Right.
So on the turn you're doing nothing, all you're doing is untapping Time Vault and giving your opponent 2 turns.
Yep.
And that's 2 turns they can't attack you. And then you're going to take your 2, so you're going to do all your stuff. Crack the Time Vault, take an extra turn. The turn you don't use, you untap the vault. it's slow, but if you're running like millstone, you can keep milling between there. You can make tokens. You could have a breeding pit or something, just cranking out stuff every turn. You gotta have something to do on those downside turns.
Well, I mean, this makes me wonder. I mean, maybe it's stupid, but I wonder if. So, like in that land destruction deck that I've got, I'm already running time vaults.
Yeah.
If you've got their lands destroyed, then and they can't attack you.
You're still net even on turns though, so you're still getting 2 turns. They're getting 2 turns, so they're drawn into their lands again. I don't think it really works with land destruction that well.
Right, but yeah, they're drawn into their lands, and maybe they can play some creatures or something like that. But then on that first turn, you just destroy a bunch of lands, take an extra turn, and then do nothing. I don't know.
I think you're net even on turns with land destructions. I don't know that does it, but it feels more like a millstone because you can be milling every turn.
Right.
And God forbid you had 2 millstones, and then you're just milling for 4 and they can't attack you, and milling for 4 and they can't,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's as far as I've gotten on either deck. And neither one of them's good for Thrash Bash because those are the slowest, boringest, grindiest freaking, throw it in with some sporelings.
So let's see. So what's better, millstone or just some like Rod of Ruins?
Yeah, just to keep beating them down.
Yeah, just ping him to death. I don't know. I think Arborea is a good card. I like Arborea.
It blows up the abyss and stuff. I mean, it is an enchant world.
Yeah, that's true.
A weird card. I don't know. But yeah, I just thought that might be a way to abuse it because you get it out and you're sort of stuck. You can't do crap. But with the time vault, every other turn, you kind of could. You could have a full turn to do whatever the hell you wanted. Get that extra one. The extra one you just can't do anything on. But you still get to draw. You still get to play instants. I mean, you can run and burn. I don't know. Does that stall you out long enough? You can just burn somebody out?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I kind of feel in burn, by the time you get this Arborea time bolt.
Yeah, it's not really what burn wants to do.
It's like I kind of just wish these 2 cards were lightning bolts.
Yeah, this is probably true. Yeah, all right. Thanks for not helping me because that's kind of where I'm stuck. It's a shell that I can't figure out what goes in it, but it's probably something.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's probably something. Just don't know what.
Well, yeah. Maybe you just run it green and you just freaking attack the hell out of them every other turn. And then they can't do anything to you. I mean, you got them locked out at that point. They get 2 turns, but they can't attack you on any of those. And you get to attack them on one of yours.
Yeah.
He's running killer bees.
Yeah, I mean, I like it with like what's the dude? Master of the Hunt.
Oh yeah, just keep making
wolves,
banding wolves.
Yeah, you just keep making banding wolves at the end of their turn. And then on your turn, you're not doing anything.
Well, you can make them. So if you don't cast a spell or put a creature into a play, and I think it says if you put a non-token permanent, so you can put a token.
Okay, so yeah, it doesn't matter then.
You could do Serpent Generator, or you could do Master of the Hunt tokens.
Yeah. The Hive.
Well, I was thinking just the black one that makes the 0/1 dudes.
Breeding Pit?
Breeding Pit. Isn't that what it's called? Breeding Pit?
Yeah, Breeding Pit makes 0/1s.
Yeah, so if you have that out, just kind of chilling. Doesn't work. And a Bad Moon. at a certain point, you can just go to town on them.
Yeah.
Man, this is high tech content for anybody that's stuck around this long.
Yeah. I mean, there's quite a few cards that let you just make a bunch of little tokens. So, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I think cards like Master of the Hunt and the Hive and Serpent Generator and that kind of stuff is a little bit better just because they're artifacts, so you can kind of stick with the green.
Yeah. I've always wanted. Never won with poison tokens.
Ooh, that's true too. Serpent Generator's poison tokens.
Yeah, and I've always wanted to win with poison. Built it many times. It's just so much freaking work. 6 to cast it, 4 to activate it, and you get a 1/1. And then he's running freaking Sandstorm.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Look at that art.
That is some next level art, dude.
Yeah.
Pouring lava into a meat grinder and it's making snakes.
Yep.
That's some shit right there. It's a dark mind. I love that guy.
Yeah, it looks like a pull pump. Just shitting out snakes.
It's overheating. Need to get that sucker, get that maintenance right away.
Yeah, somebody needs to come look at that. But yeah, no, Arborea.
Time Vault Serpent Generator.
Yeah. Could be a thing. Arborea insects. Oh, wait. Snakes are
snakes.
Insects.
Yeah, just snakes. I mean, you go in and make the hive. I guess the hive, they're flying, aren't they?
Yeah, but it's expensive. It's like really, the hive's really expensive.
I've definitely lost to the hive before. It's very humiliating. 5 to make a 1/1. They just end of their turn. They just spend 5, make a 1/1. Counter the shit out of you over and over. Make a 1/1. Yeah, it's
it doesn't. The hive doesn't tap though. I didn't realize that.
it does. It's a mono artifact, so you only use it once.
Okay, never mind. I was
Sorry.
getting ready to say, just power artifact, basalt monolith, shit out a million mosquitoes. But
Oh man.
nope. Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, that old mono artifact. They almost had
every
it.
time.
Get you every time. All right, man. Well, I think that's good. Let's wrap it up. I don't know. To see 2 weeks. I don't know if you want to get on here and talk Spice File decks or not. And hopefully Eric will get a headset by then.
Yeah. I mean, why not? I'll probably be on here for it. I don't have anything else to do other than sort through all these stupid ass Magic cards. So
why don't you build a badass cube? You got all these cards, man. Why don't you?
I was thinking about it. Well, so nobody wants to cube with like Cons of Tarkir. So
I don't know. You pick the cool ones. I don't know. Do a like a
what?
holiday.
Like what is the cool one?
I don't know. Big ass dragons and stuff. I don't know. I don't mind doing that. I like it better drafting it than I do like Commander in it because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and somebody's tuned it and they've been studying the dragon deck for 6 years or whatever, or ninjas or whatever the hell the new thing. I don't know that shit. But when you just start ripping it from a pack, I'll play the hell out of it. I don't know. I do get kind of excited about like the vintage cube and all that. It's got all those cool cards or
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean that all that stuff's great, but I don't know. I'd kind of just like to sell it. I'm tired of looking at all this shit, and I don't know. I just kind of want. I'd much rather have those binders that I bought full of like a playset of old school than to have a cube that nobody ever wants to play full of War of the Spark. So.
Yeah, now that I hear it out loud, you're 100% on that one. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
But I'm
I know you guys want to go. You want to play the War of the Spark Cube? Well, oh man, look at the time. Damn.
yeah, you guys want to? Who wants to play Throne of Eldraine? It's like, not it.
Yeah, there's some gate crash in there. Like, no, I gotta get the hell out of here.
Who likes Oko? Oh,
I
nobody.
wonder there's somewhere. I wonder if I even own it. At one point, Eric and I, we went to the store. Man, there's probably good shit in there. And I just went to the dollar binder, and they had like buy 5 get 2. And I dropped like $50 and just built a cube on all this old shitty like overcosted stuff. And we made a cube. I think it's still around. That would be fun to play that thing once, because it was just ridiculous. The counter spells cost like 6, but you could like then play a creature from your hand, and it was just nothing good. It was just like the garbage rare cube, and it's kind of fun.
I mean, depending on how long ago that was, I mean, Commander did a lot to a lot of these old stupid cards. So you could be sitting on a gold mine. I don't know.
I doubt it, but yeah, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Sitting on a 20. I don't know. I need to see if that thing's around. I'm sure we've skimmed through it a few times and picked anything that was worth out of it. But I haven't seen that thing in 5 years at least. Yeah, I gotta see where that's at.
So far, I've finished my white binder. I've almost finished my blue binder, and I'm really liking how everything's turning out and reorganizing all of my old school cards. So it's a lot of work, but I think by the end of it, it's going to be worth it. It's going to look real sweet.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
You get your Doubleton deck built?
I have it. I have it built, but I don't have it built, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, you got the list.
I have the list. I have the list. I just have not gone through and put it all together. And I still need to, I don't know. I was looking through my cards a couple days ago for Doubleton, and then also for Kumite, or not Kumite, but for Thrash Bash coming up. And I need to purchase some things. So I'll be going on a little bit of a buying spree here soon.
Yeah, you better get on it.
Yeah.
Ben was looking up all the double cost spells that you could play with Phyrexian mana.
Yep, I saw him link all that.
I mean, black, obviously.
Black's got so much good double
mana order
stuff.
Black Knight.
I think black is
Kumbal Witches. Oh,
black might have the most of all the colors for this.
Yeah, even what Eric was saying, yeah, because you could do a Vassal Thrall and then just get 2 more on your next turn and just play something huge, like super quick. Yeah, but you only get 2 of anything, so you got that.
Yeah, there's so much. Like, I mean,
blue's super strong though, because I mean, honestly, Boomerang is pretty handy in a clutch spot when you can just free it. You know, Counterspell, Mana Drain. I don't know. Somebody's the Transmute Artifact. You're doing a combo thing, might be cool.
Yeah, blue's got some stuff, but I mean I don't know. I guess having access to three counter type spells for free is real good.
Green looks a little light, not even me.
Green's kind of meh. I think Whirling Dervish is probably the best out of the bunch.
Yeah, and there was the question of, do you just jam Dervish in every sideboard and just pay the 4 life against black?
I mean, I think
you do, because everyone's like, we just said black's pretty strong, so.
I mean, I kind of think you just jam Dervish in everything.
Yeah, it's worth 4 life in the right setup, man.
Yeah.
Red, I mean,
Fork.
That's it. God, he would be a desperate man to pay 4 life for a giant strength.
Yeah, or it's like, I'm gonna play Power Surge, and on turn 1 Power Surge and already be 4 life down.
That's probably only 2. Now white, I think that's probably where Eric's gonna go, and it's got some strong White Knights, Order. It's got a few things. Where's Crusade? He might. Why am I not? Oh, because maybe it's.
They won't. Yeah, they won't bring up Crusade.
Yeah, because that one's kind of devastating. You just drop a small creature, and then you pay for your order. Drop a Crusade, play a lifelink. You're just back at it, man.
Yeah, maybe Blessing's good because you'll be able to play a Blessing on something, but then you're not spending the mana on the Blessing, so you'll still have access to pump it like immediately. I don't know.
I mean, he could run as a red burn deck and Ninja Charizard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just ballsy. It is. Hey, just paying the life, going for it.
So that's the thing.
It'll be interesting.
Format. Yeah, that's the thing with this format I've been thinking about is because you're only limited to 2 cards. I mean, we'll see how it plays out, right?
Yeah.
Since you're only limited to 2 cards in the deck, then it's going to increase the variance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when you increase the variance, then you just need to make sure that the cards you play with, like on their own, are bangers. So things like enchantments that go on creatures like go down a lot because now you have to have the creature and the enchantment, right? So
right.
I don't know. And here, this is coming from the guy that wants to play a combo deck. It's not going to work at all. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what does good. Because didn't you do this before? I wasn't able to make it to the first.
Well, we didn't do the Phyrexian mana thing.
Right.
It was on 2/22/2022, something like that. So
and
that was the day of the Doubleton. Now, what if you played Word of Command and made them pay the Phyrexian mana? The player can activate mana abilities as if they were from.
Well, I guess you wouldn't force them to pay the Phyrexian.
Yeah,
they could always just tap.
That'd be living the freaking magic dream.
Yeah. So
let me see your hand.
What do we remember what did good in the first Doubleton thing?
No.
I wasn't there.
Idea.
I have
it was actually we had it with Scryings.
Oh,
so
okay.
it was a completely different setup.
Different.
So
yeah,
we had no Phyrexian mana. I don't think we limited the restricted cards to 1 of each. So it was a whole different setup.
So this is we're forging new ground here. So
this is very new ground, yes.
Yeah. So this is going to be cool to see how it turns out.
Yeah, I mean, actually, the deck I built, which is doing really bad. I only played a couple games, but I lost every one. Didn't have hardly any of the double Phyrexian mana stuff, and
yeah,
man, what a pile!
I was thinking about that. I was like, maybe the correct play is just to play like some green-red mid-range pile with just a bunch of fatty creatures and
just lifelink the hell out of everything, gain life back. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Well, I'm trying for a spice prize, and that's hard to do, man. But I love building the deck. Honestly, it's great because you get so many cards. Because you always fill up your deck really quick. When you have 2 of each, it's like, is this for real? I got more spots and even more and even more.
Yeah,
and no power and no restricted cards. So you know, you got freaking 14 or something different card choices to make. It's pretty awesome.
I think maybe I'll change up my strategy. Maybe I'll just build some mid-range pile of shit that's fun to play, but this is like maybe the only format that you can actually.
I can play a white deck with healing salve and whatever the elixir is to gain life, and then just all the off-color double shit. Just forks, counter spells, dervishes, and just run mono white.
Yeah, that's true.
Just anything with life gain, spirit links and healing salve, and then just go all in, just freaking dervish.
Like loses
countering
the
your
Earthquake
swords.
Dot deck. It would just be amazing.
I did think also it'd be kind of cool to just see who could make the most of twos, like 2 power, 2 toughness, 2 cost. Their whole deck, just everything. Just how many twos will be in there? Maybe that should be a prize.
Hey, that'll be where giant strength comes into play.
Well, Anka Mishra is pretty solid because it costs 2 and it does 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you could see who could maximize the twos to the ultimate ability. I'm excited for it. That's a week from this Saturday, so that should be a good.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming up, so that'll be fun. Yeah, I need to put something together. I think I've kind of talked myself out in the last 5 minutes of the deck that I've been planning for the past month. So I'm not.
Yeah, I feel like that's just not going to go that well.
No, it's
the variance is so off the chart when you only get 2 of anything, and you don't have. I mean, I guess you could choose Ancestral as your one of your cards or whatever, but.
Yeah, that's what it was going to be. That was going to be one of my cards. One
Ancestral
of my cards
and Brain Geyser, I guess, or something would be the 2, or I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember what the other one was, but like the whole deck was just drawing cards. I was going to be playing with like bazaars so that you could just like filter through your deck to try to get to the combo as fast as possible. But I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, maybe that it's probably not going to do very good, and B, even if it does do good, it's not going to be very fun. So
right, you're gonna do all this stuff to go off once in the day. It's gonna be underwhelming. Yeah.
So I think I'm just gonna play. Yeah, I'm gonna play something different. I got 4 berserks here, so I'll just play with those. Well, 2 berserks, I guess. I don't know. I'll just play with some
2 berserks. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just play like green red bullshit. Be able to use all those cards. I'll play green, red, black, and I'll play all those cards that Steven sold me.
Yeah, I'm trying to find all his stuff now, give it back to him. I got it all over the place, and he's like, "Where you get?" I'm like, "Ah, shit, yeah, I kept them. I knew I kept them. So I'd put like a stack. I'd stuck them all over the place. I mean, you can't just give
once something like kind of even halfway merges in the collection. It's like no holds barred there. You don't know where.
Yeah, because I think I got this one binder of just like all the signed shit from events and everything, and all these random things. And he's like, "You got those signed cards from the events?" I'm like, "Oh fuck, I think they're in my." You're gonna have to pick them out, dude, because I don't remember which ones are which. So I just
He sent me some signed stuff that, I didn't pay for them. I didn't ask for them. Some of them are pretty cool. Like there's a
that's a good hippie.
Hippie, altered elf. I mean, there's some cool stuff in there. I'll give all that stuff back to him. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even plan to keep most of them. But I mean, I just kind of stuck him around. I'm like, he'll be back. Come on, where's he gonna go? Luckily, we were right. So happy to have him back.
Yep. So anyway,
all right, let's call it
another banger.
Another banger, man.
See ya.
All right, see ya.